Hello, spirit friends. Welcome to my channel where we be keeping the Jeep so you can rise and be awoken and no longer sleep. And today's topic is going to be about death experiences. Question 2 for keeping the Jeep. Is there really an afterlife? If yes, why? I believe you actually pass on as an energy and you actually are in this time frame of wusa and relaxation. You go through a relaxation phase and you actually, get the picture everything you did on earth in this realm. And you get to decide if you want to come back and do it over because you missed some things and you wish you feel like you can do better, or you feel like you completed it and then you're on to your next mission. So I feel like no matter what, you do get that phase to actually move on. But energy never dies, so of course there's always an after to everything, especially to us. Question 3 for keeping the Jeep. Do you think after our energy passes this realm, we elevate into a new being or new entity, period? We only elevate. I don't believe in the whole hell and heaven thing. I feel like that's just all hell on earth or it's all heaven on earth. And that's all mental. It's all mental work, and it starts with growing and it starts with the shadow work. And when it comes to the energy, it never dies. So being that they say we die, no, actually it's a celebration because we're actually moving on. We're actually moving up in levels, in phases, in a new direction. So when they say that, man, he's gonna always look over me and watch over me, that's something that's kind of like, to each his own. It's like leaning more on the more side of the belief side, but when it comes to energy, for what we really are, man, it's a lot you can touch on with it. And it's definitely a journey. That journey word is the biggest word of this whole realm. This is all a journey. This is all an experience. Those two words are just the deepest of the deepest you can get. And if you know how to touch on those two and know how to grow with those two, your energy, once it passes on, will not be stuck here feeling like you didn't do enough or you need to redo it or whatever you may feel when you pass on. Question 4 for keeping the G. Do you think depending on what we do in this realm determines what we transform into after we pass? 100%. Because right now you could be your dearest self. You could be your dearest self that you think holds the most weight when it comes to the universe. But if you missing pieces to your puzzle, it's gonna show in the end, in your world, because this is all our own world. This right here, this is my world. I'm talking to you guys right now in my own world. Whoever ride past or, whatever they see or think of me, that's their own world that they gotta do. I don't have to deal with it. This is what I'm doing right now. So when it comes to the transformation of life, you can transform into 3D, but we are here for a test, a task, and we have to conquer this inner work. And that's what I'm doing actually right now. This is therapeutic to my inner work because I'm actually expressing things that I deeply feel with you guys and actually working on my inner work as I speak to you guys. So it's all a transformation on who you are going to be for the next journey that you are going to be on. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. We just finished up question 4. We halfway through all the questions. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys leave a comment. I dearly appreciate it. Question 5 for keeping the Jeep. Do you guys have any expectations on death? That's a good question because I never thought that deep until I made these cards. And to be honest, I don't have any expectations. I just wanted to be peaceful. If I had to choose on any expectations on one expectation, I should say, it would be for it to be peaceful. A relief. When you let that deep breath out and it just feel like, I wanted to be that, Because if it's anything of this or anything of that, it's too much. I'd rather be here. It's already that here. So as long as it's just, a relief, a new beginning, I'm all for it. So, yeah, that's how I feel. Question 6 for Keeping the Jeep. Is death hard to face, being that we all have to face it? To be honest, it's not hard for me anymore. It's not hard for me because I kind of like, being that I've been on the wrong path all my life, I already been facing it my whole life. I could have been facing it at any moment. So when you kind of come from that, it's not hard to face until you actually sit down and know what you've been doing have been so close and so risky to be at that point. And you might not have been ready for it. And it just happened like, boom, you gone. It don't matter how it happened, you just gone because you've been moving so fast. But now that I actually then grew out of that stage of life, I'm actually going and blossoming into my best self, my best being, my best spiritual, my best 3D self. I face it with a peaceful mindset. I don't think too deep on it. When I was super lost, I used to be kind of afraid when I used to sit with it. But now I could kind of like, get that peace of mind, literally. It's weird because I actually have like a couple items that I plan on getting this year for if something ever happened to me. I plan on, having my outfit and how I want to look and, how I want to be, granted to my funeral, and how I want people to have access to me. I have the things I want to wear, have the things I kind of like want, I have the things I want to look like. And that's how much I have faced it now. Back then, I couldn't have pictured myself doing that. But now, I know, when it comes to that. But right now, I'm trying to, continue to fix and fix myself and do the inner work. So once it does happen, it's no biggie because I completed this mission. I completed this journey because I'm on a journey, as we all are, Question 7 for Keeping the Jeep. What you have wanted to be alive if you knew before being alive you had to die? Ooh, I love this question. To be honest, if we being just totally honest, I don't think no one would have wanted to be here. Because you know why? I said this in one of my old videos on this channel. We gain these attachments and these responsibilities, and we gain these agreements that we make up and we want to abide by, or other people feel like if we don't abide by it, or we may feel like if we don't abide by it, we let them down. So being that that's a part of this realm, I don't think me coming here, if I knew I had to pass on once the work is done, or if it get cut short, if I'm not, trying to get on my narrow path for my journey, and I feel like that is when time get cut short, when you just steady off your path and you just shrink, just trickling down your time, wasting time, it's cut short. But that's another topic. I wouldn't have wanted to come because I don't like what it come with. I don't like what the 3D has to offer. I don't feel like it's pleasant. I don't feel like it's like peaceful or like love in this, even from your own parents. I don't feel like, if they not mentally there, they can't be mentally there for you. So I feel like a lot of things just cutthroat. So being that everything is just cutthroat, even with the family that you are born in, which is supposed to be the closest thing to you, but nowadays, 2025, you got to reach out and, maneuver with other people, that you don't even know until you meet them one day. Man, it's a lot to face. And, coming here for all that, I don't think it's worth it. I'm thankful that I'm here, and I'm thankful for the attachments that I have gained that's healthy. no attachment could be really healthy, but I'm learning that if I'm going to have an attachment, it should be healthy, I should say, because we are here. So we're going to love things. We're going to have desires. We're going to have wants. So the attachments that I am now, gaining and having now, it's to a, small little T, small little dot, but it's all healthy. I'm learning to navigate with that versus like hating that I even am here because I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. No one set anything up for me, especially with my parents. They didn't set nothing up for me. I'm doing this all from, rock bottom. Everything I'm doing, which I'm grateful because that's what's making me the man I am today, because I know how it feels. I learned to have empathy and sympathy now. So I'm gaining more knowledge over the years, but would I have wanted to be here if I knew that I had to die and go through all these trials and tribulations? No, I would not. Question 8 for Keeping It Jeep. If you could have one superpower before you die to live out, what would it be? Mine would be to teleport. And I picked teleport only because, a lot of people would say a whole bunch of other different things and odd things and, a lot of crazy things. I would love to hear what you guys, would choose. I would pick teleport because I feel like a lot of times you don't have enough time in the day to do certain things you want to do. For example, you don't have enough time in the day. You might be in your hometown, you have something you're trying to do, you're getting dressed, you're doing this and that, this and that. You might need to go an hour away to go get something for, the event that you're finna have tonight. And you just don't have enough time because it's a lot of other things and a lot of other people, once you're involved in, them getting dressed and all that. So you don't have enough time to go do that 1 hour thing that you really would love to go do, but you just don't have enough time today. So you just gotta, settle for something else. So instead of settling for something else, I would handle what I need to handle real quick. And before I go handle with the other people, I would go teleport for that hour away. Even if it's 16 hours away, I can teleport. So that don't matter where it's at. It could be to another country. That just sounds so lit and fun to me. It's just like, you just navigating, and I feel like that's just like the best superpower you can have, to me. Yeah, that's what I would choose. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Make sure you guys like it. Make sure you guys subscribing. Make sure you guys are, just tuning into my channel when I drop. I want to keep this thing, up. I'm going to keep it coming for you guys, and make sure you guys are, locked in and tuned into what I'm doing, and give you guys feedback because it truly matters to me, and I appreciate you guys. I'm growing this channel for you guys to actually grow with me. Well, that's all I have for today's vlog of Keeping It Jeep. An open mind should evolve and consciously teach.